What is up, YouTube? What's up, ladies? What's up, gentlemen? Today we're reacting to fraudulent characters. I don't really know what this title gonna be about, but let's get it.
There are characters out there portrayed to be the best of the best. Whether it's someone that's been building up hype for the people watching, only to get folded in a nanosecond of their appearance, or just a person that's never about it and can't finish a job. This category of characters is known as fraudulent characters. Typically, people talk about anime characters being fraud specifically, but man, there sure is a lot of characters outside of anime that can hold the fraud status, so let's run through it. The first character I'm starting with, and I know this might be controversial, but Batman. Batman, being one of the most iconic superheroes to ever exist, has one major flaw. He doesn't kill. I've always wondered why Gotham has...
Now, as y'all can see, right? My alter ego used to be Batman, but it's not no more. It's Superman. I'm Superman now. I'm just the black version. And yeah, you know, Batman. Yeah, he is right. I don't know if Green Lantern on the list. He should be, because it's just a ring. You know, like, if you somehow can take off the ring, then, you know, he's just a normal human like us.
Has been ran through with the worst of the worst villains to ever exist. But the answer is the most obvious thing ever. If I'm a villain in the Batman universe in another city and my other villain friend messages me like, hey, so we know the hero's killing this city, and you're probably gonna die doing a crime here. But if I told you about this little city called Gotham, I'd be running my ass there to commit crime like no tomorrow. The worst comes to worst, I see a POV of this man like this, then proceed to get the daylight beat the out of it. But hey,
of course, you in the alley, right? It's nighttime. I say about 10:30. You just hearing some, you know, like the cars rolling by. Hear a few car sirens, you see a few homeless people, and you litter, right? You eat a bag of chips, walking down the alley. I don't know why you're doing that. And then you just somehow ball it up and throw it on the floor. Then you just somehow see this black figure with a suit swinging down on you, and you just say, "Aren't you gonna pick that up?" You gonna say, "What? Aren't you gonna pick it up?" And then you just don't stop. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And then he just go away.
hey, I'll still be alive and be up on my feet to commit some crimes in no time. And I know, I can already hear some people saying it. Well, Tommy, he doesn't kill because he has a strict moral code and he doesn't want to stoop to the low level of the villains. Which I don't really understand at all. Because if anything, he's making more innocent people die for no reason by these villains' hands. Rather than just murking the villains, which is like 10 people. And by the way, Gotham has 10 million people. So that's killing 10 villainous people for 10 million other lives. And how much more evil acts is it gonna take to happen in Gotham before it realizes that this shit ain't gonna work out? Like, buddy, you've been doing this whole peace thing since 1939. That's 85 years. How many more hospitals does the Joker have to blow up? How many more deadly riddles does the Riddler have to play on innocent civilians? And how many more villainous actions does the Penguin have to do? Wait, come to think of it, I have zero clue what the Penguin does. What the
Me either.
Do again? He probably robs every McDonald's he's come cross by. All I know is that he's up to no good. Like, at this point, you should know that the Joker is definitely not going to change anytime soon. Apparently, the Joker's first appearance in the DC Comics is in 1940. And for a little reference, this man has been Batman's arch nemesis 24 years before segregation ended. 5 years before the man with the mustache ended his life, and yet you still have to take his life. Apparently, from what I've researched online, there is some comic versions where he does kill, but even in those, he's only killed the Joker twice. And to be honest, comics are kind of confusing. There'd be like a million different alternative timelines that aren't even...
Exactly, like, I just did a TikTok about this, right? I'm not no Marvel fiend. I'm not no DC fiend. I just like my superheroes. That's it. I like Wolverine. I like Spider-Man. I'm not into the whole comics to where, oh yeah, let me put it in the voice. Like, oh yeah, guys, I feel like Thor would be the best because in comic 1300, he's gonna he don't have the hammer no more, so he's gonna get more stronger. Or they're gonna say something about Thanos, like, oh yeah, if Thanos took off the glove in comic 35, Swamp Thing couldn't even beat him. You know, it is kind of confusing. That's why I just leave it to y'all, but
or even in the same universe.
I'm just me.
Like, why the is the Joker pregnant in one of the comics? Oh lord. This is why I'm kawaii and I stick to the superior comics. But if it was me personally, I'm killing the Joker and swooping in on Harley Quinn because, yeah, scratch that actually. Don't kill all the villains in Gotham. I need Harley Quinn. And Poison Ivy and Catwoman.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm getting lost.
They all
the
bad.
point is, it's a win-win.
Sure.
The next character we got is the character from Fortnite, Invincible. Before I even get into this one, once again, I can already hear it. But Tommy, in the comics, man, I swear, he's a different breed. Like, you just got... Well, I'm illiterate and at a 3rd grade reading level. I'm going off...
What was he doing that?
It's funny how Mark Grayson is supposed to be the main character of Invincible. And typically for a main character of a superhero show, you expect them to be going crazy and folding niggas at least a couple of times. But Mark is the absolute punching bag of the show. I could only name a couple of times where I saw this man actually put it in work. Every other time, he's getting folded by miscellaneous characters in the show. Like the time when the school bully started to pummel the shit out of him. I understand he got a hold back to keep his identity secret and all, but it don't mean you gotta get folded by this future domestic abuser. Or the time when he was getting folded by this half-human, half-hybrid thing. Just look at this frame right here. The other man has his whole palm covering your head. You can consider that you lost the fight. This is more embarrassing than getting pantsed in front of the host. In another fight, he gets folded by this tiger dude, and he gets disrespected so badly, the guy opens his mouth and licks the blood off his mouth after beating him up. Kinda looks like he's getting off to it. This whole scene feels weird. And of course, we can't forget about,
oh yeah, his dad, yeah.
I think this clip sums up how that story went.
You should have died at birth.
Listen, I only know Omni-Man because I played Mortal Kombat 1. Shout out Mortal Kombat. Y'all can't beat me. Like, come on, drop y'all gamer tags. I'll be glad to do that.
The next character we got is Greg Heffley. Now, I know this might seem like a little bit of an odd choice, but hear me out for a second. In the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books and movies, Greg Heffley's portrayed as the all-time GOAT. We read the books from his perspective, so a lot of times we tend to feel bad for him when something happens.
I read about 80% of the books. I stopped about 2012 when I was in 4th grade. Dog Days movie is the best movie, for sure.
But in all reality, Greg Heffley is the biggest loser in his entire town. Like, first off, why are you writing an entire diary book from your perspective that makes you have no faults? Which is why nowadays everyone realizes that the whole time he was just a sociopath. Was there ever a time you saw Greg Heffley doing a good thing just because? Hell nah, this man is no different than the greedy business people in the Fortune 500s. Like, Greg will swear he's one of the cool and popular kids at school all the time, only to get shoved in lockers and be given wet willies by the bullies. It's like that one kid in high school who hovers around all the popular kids because he's considered like a third party to them. Where's my invite type of person. That's Greg Heffley. And we could also include a where's my hug at because Greg Heffley is one of the biggest Simpsons. Man spent a whole summer with Holly Hills just to never get anywhere. This man would be having daydreams about how their future life would be and their future kids.
Listen guys, this should be a lesson. Do not hesitate to go and talk to your crush because if you wait for the right time, it'll never happen. So you see that person in school, because it don't matter. If you get rejected, you just get rejected. Like, hopefully she don't, because you know, like, the worst that she can say no. But let's just hope that she can only say no instead of embarrassing you in front of her friends or a good group of people. Then you're going to be embarrassed. Then you're going to halfway try to cry, hold back your tears. And you're like, dang, I should never did it. Well, hey.
Like, this is just a different level of the friend zone, man. I don't even know what advice I'd give my friend if he's in this type of friend zone. And don't get me started on how he treats my man's Rowley. Honestly, Rowley should have been the main character of the story because he was really him. While Greg was struggling to pull, Rowley had hosed by the line. And I'll never forget when this man Greg broke Rowley's arm by throwing a football at a tricycle. Notice that the arm cast was getting Rowley hella attention at school. So then he tried to pull up with a fake cast to the school just to get attention.
I had a cast, if y'all didn't know. You see this scar? That was when I was playing Flag Chase. I'll explain the story sometime. But yeah, I had a cast. I didn't really get no baddies. I mean, it was in elementary, so you know, like, you know how the teacher gonna be, oh yeah, guys, go ahead and sign his cast, everybody. So yeah, I didn't really get no.
Greg is one of the
baddies.
worst friends of all time. The fact that Rowdy even sticks with this man still is shocking. Like, there's a scene in the book where he imagines Rowley as his dog in the future. Have you ever thought of one of your friends as a dog ever? If you have, you need some serious therapy help. The whole Diary of a Wimpy Kid book series is really Greg gaslighting himself into being the hero all the time. The next character we got is Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter.
This little half-British, half-French accent
Dexter.
kid always used to get on my nerves. The reason why I call Dexter a fraud is because this man is supposed to be the world's greatest inventor, has an IQ of 140, but not a single one of this man's plans ever work out in the show. How do you have a whole underground laboratory hidden from your parents and the public, yet nothing useful ever comes from it? Like, if we really think of it, Dexter could have damn near cured cancer at this point, found the cure for AIDS, but he does things like aging himself up in an episode to hook up with his babysitter. This is a real thing that happened in one of the episodes.
I mean, why
Never
not?
forget, even horniness gets to the smartest of smart men. And don't get me started on Dee Dee's ass. Like, Dexter, why have you not handled her at this point? He prancing and dancing into the lab like, you know, with his smarts, he could build a whole military security system to keep that out because she rules everything. But he don't got the wits or something to tell her to get the out. And the last character we got is Tom from Tom and Jerry. One of the most iconic duos to ever exist in fiction. But we gotta be honest with ourselves here for a second. This man, Tom, is a fraud. Tom and Jerry came out in 1940, which is kind of funny considering it's the same time the Joker released and their two iconic rivalries. And yet has Tom been able to catch Jerry? Unlike Batman 2, there isn't multiple universes for Tom and Jerry where he's...
I mean, I heard a theory. It was like they're really friends. They just do this for fun. Now, who do y'all think is the antagonist, Tom or Jerry? I'd just say Jerry, because, you know, Tom just be minding his business and then, oh, wow, okay, you just see a rat. Or, like, you just see Jerry, oh, wow, he just on the kitchen sleeping. Yeah, so...
where he's actually managed to catch Jerry. No, this man has legit never caught Jerry in some kind of kerfuffle they got into. And for the amount of times Jerry has done Tom dirty, I would have bet packed him out. Jerry has done evil things like stick needles up Tom's ass. You stick anything up my ass, my nigga, consider yourself dead. Stuck a mouse traps on his fingers, hit his whole foot with a hammer, saved him alive. I'm wondering, what did Tom do to deserve some of these punishments? Jerry might just be a psychopath. If he was a human, he would probably be a serial killer. The closest Jerry got to dying in the show was the one episode where him and Tom ended themselves.
That was the end,
I still don't know how this episode passed to be aired. Like, this was insane. But even then, Tom was taking himself out too, so it really doesn't count. It's even worse that Tom is a cat because cats are known to be Mouse's #1 predator. Like, I can talk from personal experience, okay? My own cat will leave the house in the morning like it's a 9 to 5, then come back 8 hours later with a dead mouse in her mouth. It sounds up, and it kinda is, but cats are natural hunters, so they just do that. Yet with all the widget gadgets Tom uses for Jerry, he's yet to catch him. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up, really. I could do more, but I want to save it for a potential part 2 in the future, so let me know.
Yeah, do a part 2 so you can react.
Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
Shout out my nigga Tony. Whenever he drop the next one, you know that we on it. Now, like I say, those are some frauds. Can y'all name any more? I mean, I don't really know. Like I say, Green Lantern. Is Iron Man a fraud? Because he just like us. But he's way smarter and he just go in the suit. But, I really don't know. This was actually a very good video. I love y'all. Like this video, okay? Make sure y'all follow me.